everyone. So good to see everyone at the University of Texas. I'm a native Austinite, so super excited to see this room. And very excited Brandon is bringing us together with Garrett, Gaskins, CMO of Yesway. We have an exciting opportunity to talk about sports and retail marketing. But before we get started, I want to start with your life journey. I always love hearing about people's life journeys, their career journeys. If you could share 2 or 3 moments that are really defining that led you to be CMO of Yesway.
It's awesome. Thank you, Stephanie, first and foremost. Life journey-wise, I'm actually from Washington, D.C., so I think the closest I have with UT is KD, was one of the best players that came out of the region that I grew up in, and certainly one of the best players that come to this school and has now taken basketball to ever greater heights. Journey-wise, product of Southeast Washington, D.C., went to University of Iowa as an undergrad, so I'm a Hawkeye, and then went to Kellogg, Northwestern for B school, so fully immersed in the Big Ten. First real job was with Goldman Sachs, and I was a sales trader, and I was going to be rich and working on Wall Street and doing all that fun stuff. Then I came to my senses and found out I really had a passion for marketing and merchandising. So I moved to Cincinnati and became a brand manager with Procter & Gamble P&G. Ran all of the new snacks brands, and primarily Pringles, and then some concepts like Jekyll's and Taringos that you may or may not have heard of. I did some global test markets with those. I think that showed me retail and what the potential could be. And I was fortunate to work with who was later the CEO of Giant Eagle. She was the 4th generation Laura Correct. It was actually Laura Shapiro when I knew her. And her father, David, was the CEO. And so she wanted to set up a marketing discipline within Giant Eagle, a Pittsburgh-based retailer, and position it like we did at P&G. So I took the lead, moved the family to Pittsburgh, and spent about 10 years at Giant Eagle. And so in terms of one of the most pivotal moments, I would say that got me not only in retail, but also sports. We were the official supermarket, as well as the main store of the Pittsburgh Steelers, Cleveland Browns, Cleveland Cavaliers, the Penguins, and then on a college level, the Ohio State University, as well as Pitt. And as a marketer, I was very blessed and fortunate to stand up a marketing organization, start recruiting some best-in-class brand managers, directors of marketing, category managers, and launched this brand called Getgo, G-E-T-G-O. It stood for Giant Eagle to Go, and the rest is history. Actually about 6 months ago, one of the largest convenience operators in the world, Couche-Tard, a Canadian company that owns and operates Circle K, paid over $2 billion for Getgo. So it was bittersweet. That was literally my baby. I built the first one from a white paper concept to about a 220-store chain.
What an amazing achievement.
So fast forward, and I've been with Yesway now about 6.5 years. Yesway is one of the fastest growing convenience store brands. Started as a private equity-backed venture. I came in as one of the first team members when we had about 20 stores. And now we're up to 440. One of our main brands is Allsups, A-L-L-S-U-P''S. And they are out of, or were out of, Clovis, New Mexico. Legendary brand. Yesway purchased that brand about 5 years ago. And we invested in it and built about 100 new, from the ground up, Allsups stores, all through Texas, Oklahoma, and New Mexico. And in 2021, Yesway was named the U.S. Convenience Retailer of the Year. For this year, we were the Fuel Innovator of the Year. And I'm very fortunate to have a great team that surrounds me that helps keep our brand right on that leading edge.
Oh, I love that. Well, as you know, Placer.ai is a location analytics company. So we dug into the data of Yesway. So we have some insights for you. So when we looked at your customer segmentation, we learned that there's a group of growing customers called ruralites. They're neighborly, community-oriented, love Yesway because of the friendly disposition of your staff and the great buying experience. How do you best target this customer group, and does sports play a role in that?
Great question. So, absolutely, sports playing a key and pivotal role. I would say that rural is a conscientious target. You know, we set out to go after food deserts or retail deserts, any kind of desert, but places that are underserved. You know, this actually goes back to how I was raised. Urban and rural are much more similar than people realize. I always tell my team, when I grew up, the stores I shopped at had bulletproof glass. I had to point in what I wanted to buy, to put it into a circular thing, spun around. That's how I got my products. Like Michael Jordan says, I took that personally. And so when I was with Giant Eagle to even now, I am adamant that we're going to deliver world-class retail to underserved communities. And they're often rural or they're urban. You know, even for us, you know, what I call urban here is in Washington, D.C., but there's communities in Albuquerque, in Abilene that we serve that are very urban. Santa Fe that are underserved. We'll put in a brand new store. One of our newest ones we just opened in Albuquerque, and it's crushing. And I had to fight because people wanted to lock stuff up. They wanted to not put alcohol on the floor, not put certain products on the floor. And, you know, some of these people work for me. They're part of my team. And so I think the first piece is when you're serving a rural community, just understanding that consumer. And then getting to the role of the sports plays, you know, from Friday Night Lights, the whole town stops. You know, when a town like Canadian, Texas, which has won multiple state championships now, and we have 2 stores that serve that. When Friday happens, everything in that town stops, and our stores cater to it. When I build a new store, we work and partner with the local schools, we partner with police, fire, and, you know, first responders, and the first thing I do is give $2,500 checks to each of them. It's not much, but, you know, when you build 400 stores, that adds up. And then with the schools, it's just a way to support women's sports, men's sports, and be a part of the community. And then I'll say the last piece for us is motorsports. That's proven to be a huge focus. I see what looks like a Tifosi or Ferrari shirt over there. And I love Tifosi as well, but that's not my customer, right? They love NASCAR. So we're big in NASCAR, we're big in motocross. We're the official convenience store of Circuit of the Americas right here in Austin. It holds NASCAR and motocross races, as well as the Texas Motor Speedway up in Fort Worth. And you know, both of those partnerships have helped drive traffic in places with leisure. And, you know, we partner with our supplier partners, the Red Bull, the Coke, the Celsius, the Pepsi. I don't want to leave one of our monsters. We partner with many of them and activate programs to drive more excitement, engagement, and profitability.
You mentioned increasing traffic. So one thing we also learned is that your loyalty program has grown the last couple of years. It's upwards of 33% of people come 2 times or more a week, which is quite frequent for a C store. And so, question for you, what are you all doing to ensure this loyalty program continues to grow? And are there any new insights that you have to offer this group around the best practices to increase your loyalty program?
Yeah, I mean, I can proselytize about loyalty for days.
Oh,
right?
I love it.
I mean, as a marketer, starting at G and just seeing what other retailers did, and then at Giant Eagle, I mean, that was a big part of my success. We launched a program called Fuel Perks. And, you know, many grocers have it, but we, for the first time, connected inside purchases with savings at the gas pumps through a reward platform. So even with Yesway, before we had stores, I launched the loyalty program. And we knew, you know, one of the brand pillars, I always say there's 3 things that drive the Yesway brand: food service, private label, rewards/loyalty. So rewards is how the customer perceives it. Loyalty is how we perceive it, right? So I have to reward and incentivize them for them to be more loyal and drive more trips and transactions. And so that's something that we work to do. I think the second piece of that is I have a notion with our supplier partners called win with winners. So we aren't picking winners and losers, but if a supplier was willing to invest in us, when I had 40, 50 stores and I was selling a dream, and they could give me more resources than I could provide on my own. And these are brands like a Red Bull, right? I'll name them because they were one that knew me from my background in said, if you left to come join a PE firm, I'm gonna take this seriously that you're gonna get to 300, 400 stores. And they share data insights. They help my team with just planning. They're data scientists, get off sets. You know, something like beer. They don't even sell beer. They would look at my planograms in the beer doors and give me an objective point of view. I can get it from Budweiser, I can get it from Constellation, Modelo, Corona, I can then get it from someone like Molson Coors. But to have Red Bull using science and what the behaviors of consumers were made us better. So I think going back to your question and kind of rooting that, we look at those partnerships and then using our loyalty as a vehicle engagement to deliver value in a personal, targeted manner to grow sales. And we simply put, you only want to win in retail by driving more trips to your stores or getting people who are already in your stores to spend more and grow their baskets. Loyalty does both, and so that's why we invest in it.
I always love stories hearing about how consumers have been impacted by having the store locally. A lot you mentioned food deserts and places where people tend to not have access to these sort of experiences. Do you have any stories that you can share with the group or where you engage with the customer to just highlight the importance of coming to a Yesway on a regular basis? And what did that mean to you when you heard those stories?
Yeah, I mean, this one, once again, is the purpose and it's the passion that aligns perfectly. And if you would ask me 20 years ago, I would have never thought that retail would give me that opportunity. But during COVID, I'm actually based in Boston, Massachusetts, of all places. Because there's a PE firm that's there. I'm the subject matter expert. That's where the CEO is. And that's my office. I also have an office in Fort Worth, Texas, where my price book, merchandising, and a lot of my marketing teams are. So during COVID, when the world shut down, I kept moving. And I didn't have a definition, but we were building a brand. We had just bought Allsup's. So I could not go to stores when my people are working in those stores, literally risking their lives. And it's like, who am I to think I'm better, different, or what have you? I mean, I took precautions. I did what everyone did at that time. I wore masks, carried sanitizer, did all of that. Jokingly, me in my head, I also would say, because we're come across so many thousand people who thought that we were inoculated from it and, wouldn't get it, but we all ended up getting it. But, seeing those folks literally cry when you walked in the store, we started a program called Hospitality Heroes where I wanted the rest of my team to get out to say, you may be able to be on Zoom or Teams call. Our people don't have the luxury of doing that. They're dealing with people who are angry, culture conflicts. I've witnessed people throw hot coffee in someone's face because they asked them for next one. Something that simple. I've had store managers, and this is the right to carry state. And I've seen customers get shot down, literally come in and threaten to pull a gun and catch a hot one right in their chest. So it was that serious and that real. And I think that's what hit me. It's just, we are the only game in town in a lot of these towns. And I would talk to customers who would say they hadn't had a hot meal in 2-3 months. And the world famous also burrito was something that they cherished. There's country songs written about it. There's people with tattoos on their bodies. We catered weddings. It's crazy that people have that kind of passion for it, but we knew we had to keep that going. And it went against everything. I mean, as a PE firm, our CEO, he's the biggest heart in the world. COVID first hit, his instinct was to shut the stores down. I actually felt crazy being the one person in that office saying, this is our time. We are essential retail. We cannot close. If we close, these communities will be devastated. Where will police get their fuel? Where will they get their food, their coffee, whatever they need to get through the day? And then because we're rural, we also pull from a mainline grocer. So we had fill-in shopping. I have market concept stores where you can buy fresh meat, produce, dairy, eggs, milk, bread, all of those necessities that are key to what we do. So, that passion, that purpose, it actually changed me and just made a huge impact on, how I look at retail, how I go to market, and the communities that we serve.
I love that. I love brands that are very much purpose-built. And it sounds like you all do a lot in community from a nonprofit partnership perspective and for military audiences. Can Can you share more about your partnership with the Golf Classic and then your work to help military families?
Yeah, I mean, and this also speaks to understanding your consumer and your brand, right? So Operation Homefront is an organization we partner with, and we give about $100,000 per year. We also partner with Coke and Body Armor, and through the sales of their product, raise about another $250,000. So one of the things that I did is started a Yesway golf and clays classic. And I had to do the sporting clays because of where we're located. You know, people here, they rather shoot guns than golf. And some of our supplier partners, that's their passion. So we just had our 4th year. We raised over $2.5 million to a date from this. And it's all supplier partners, vendor funded, and those dollars that are being invested into the communities that we serve locally to support veterans groups, to support police, first responders, fire. You know, we also partnered with grants that introduced us to USAA, which is one of the best brand alliances that we have. Every one of my stores has a USAA branded ATM in it. And so that is also working with the military and their families, and you know, we will donate to those causes as well. And so our filters tend to be first responders, veterans, and children. And then our CEO has a passion, as do I actually, for literacy and what academic enrichment can do to the communities that we serve. So then those become vehicles and our funnels for us to give our philanthropic dollars to.
That's awesome. So a big change happened last year with this change in NIL and the ability to work with college students for sponsorships. How have you been able to utilize these opportunities to help advance your brand, but also connect with the next generation of potential buyers?
Yeah, I mean, I'm going to give Trey tremendous praise here. I mean, when that was even rumored, Trey was reaching out, yo, you gotta get serious about this. Yeah, so Trey, I mean, he was all over it. Now, don't boo me in this room. We don't have a lot of stores around Austin, but we do have a lot around Lubbock. So we did partner with Texas Tech. You know, Todd Brooks is the running back there, really good kid, and you know, started a relationship with him actually through this Strikes for Kids. It was a bowling charity of all things. And you know, we've done it with the Cowboys in Fort Worth, we've done it with the Chiefs up in Kansas City where we have stores. But in Lubbock, you know, Todd came in and we did the Boys and Girls Club. And you know, he had a passion to give back. We had, to your point, a new way to connect with college kids and universities and extend the brand. We then put a store right across called Awesome Express. It's our only one that doesn't have fuel, and it serves the college campus exceptionally well. It is a kind of store of the future, let's say, because it's geared towards Gen Z and Gen Alpha. So we use it as an incubator for my brand. You know, we're doing mobile ordering. We've had delivery and all those things there. Starting with that, we've had slushies, all kinds of new concepts in our tests. So we've now broadened that, and we're partnered with University of New Mexico. And we put an unmanned walk-in, walk-out technology store, which I know that Amazon has done that here. But for us, for Yesway brand, we have that right in their student parking, their football and basketball facility and off campus where the buses are. And we're putting in fresh product, produce, some fill-in things for the students, and really trying to make our mark out there and build the brand.
I love it. So everybody has a guilty pleasure when they go into a C-store. Come on, audience, do you all have a guilty pleasure what you purchase? I know for me, I love something a little greasy, something I know I'm not supposed to eat, but I'm like, why not? But I'm curious for you, what is your guilty pleasure when you go into a Yesway?
All right, I'm gonna give you a couple of them, right? So, like you said, greasy. So, we have a deep fried food service program that's the core of what we offer. And I encourage you guys, if you're near an Austin or Yesway, the world famous burrito is just that. And so technically it's a chimichanga, but historically it's called, we differentiate. So we have a burrito, 3 different versions of chimichangas. We now have a pizza-rito, this deep fried. We have a hash brown chili and cheese one for people who don't eat meat. So we have a whole array of them. We sell 24 million plus per year. So I do love those when I'm doing store rides. But you have to be careful and make sure I'm timing my plane travel.
Can't have it every day.
Every day, and my seatmate looking at me like, yo. We also launched, and this was a no-brainer, and it goes back to that we have experience with cradles. You know, one of the young ladies going on my marketing team, as we were looking at a new line of tostadas and our tortilla chips, she literally off the cuff was like, why don't we have a burrito flavored chip?
I love that.
And I looked at her like, damn, that's genius. Like literally called my supplier, and within a week we had a cutting, we had samples. We've now introduced in a bag world famous burrito flavored tortilla chips that taste just like a burrito. And it's our #1 selling tortilla chip. And then the last one that I'll give you, this is my upbringing and some of my southern roots there from DC. We offer chicken gizzards.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah. Now it's a little known fact. It's not in every store. When they know I'm coming, they'll make them with fresh, but deep fried chicken gizzards will be my indulgence that not a lot of people.
I love that. Next time I'm on a road trip, I pass by Yesway. I'm definitely checking that out. Well, thank you so much, Derek. This has been a really informative conversation on brand marketing and retail and sports. And super excited to hear about all the things you're doing to build your brand.
Thank you, Stephanie.